guys doing?
Good, how
you
you
doing? Great. Doing great.
Different Brookings in here?
Just a little bit, but a lot more people here.
How's things been going this first spring? I mean, I know that you're still recovering from offseason surgery, but how are you feeling so far with all these early practices?
Oh, it's been great. Right now, just trying to build relationships with all the guys in the team, build that trust, build that credibility with them, and then also spending a lot of time with Coach Lester, just learning the offensive scheme and getting better that way.
Can you tell me how you're feeling overall right now?
Feeling great. Ahead of schedule. Going to keep getting better physically and mentally.
Coach Ferris says that you're smarter than the entire coaching staff combined. Is there a truth to this?
I thought that was kind of funny. I'm assuming he just probably I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree and finishing my master's degree in engineering right now. So I'm assuming that that's what it was about.
Can you talk about your relationship with Coach Lester? And obviously, you kind of wanted you, brought you in. How is that just kind of?
Yeah, no. When I was getting recruited, I ended up talking with him a lot. Even during that bowl game process, he was spending time and just communicating with me and building that relationship with him. And I got to spend a lot of time this winter just meeting with him every single day, learning the offense, learning the scheme, and he's learning what I like as well as a quarterback. Because just having a good relationship with your offensive coordinator means a lot in those moments. And knowing what I like and knowing what he's like, it's going to relate to the field really well.
What do you like about this?
Just his offense as a whole, like he has a lot of multiplicity to that offense, and you can do so many different things and run one play so many different ways, and it's a lot of fun, and it makes game planning a lot of fun as well.
Can you just kind of walk through, you entered the portal, also looked at the NFL, like just that whole decision-making process and kind of why you ended up here?
Yeah, that whole process, the transfer portal itself is a crazy deal. Definitely talked to a lot of different scouts about my opportunities in the NFL, and we kind of decided, me and my parents, my agent, that it was going to be best to come back for another year. And after talking with Iowa and just the culture here, the coaches, having a Hall of Fame coach like Coach Ferentz, and also being very similar to what I had at South Dakota State team-wise. Got a winning culture, and that's why I ended up choosing Iowa.
How many calls did you get when you got in the portal?
Oh man, I think I had over 100 missed calls at one point, over 100 missed texts, and it was even crazier when our coaching staff in my last school left as well. So that made it all worse than just trying to help everyone out at my old school.
Did you give other schools any serious consideration besides Iowa?
Yeah, there's a couple schools here and there, and especially my old coaching staff leaving, talking with them a lot. But I thought Iowa ended up being the best fit.
What was kind of the common, what was kind of a lot of the things that the scouts were saying?
Yeah, no, they liked a lot of things about me. I had opportunities at the Shrine Bowl, the Combine, and everything like that. But they kind of saw the injury and everything like that, and I thought it'd be best for myself, and I could have played through it, but to get it right, get back to 100%, and then have an awesome season next season.
How much does NIL influence that?
It's definitely it's part of college football now. You got to take advantage of it when you get the opportunity. But that wasn't the sole decision process at all.
Mark, what do you remember about that game you played at Kinnick Stadium in 2022? That 7-3.
The greatest offensive game of all time. But no, that game was awesome. It was the loudest stadium I've ever played in. A lot of loud Kinnick, Iowa fans. It was a lot of fun. It was loud, and I couldn't even hear myself at the line of scrimmage. So I'm excited to be on the other side of it next fall.
Just with the injury and the surgery, I know this stuff probably you can't talk about, but can you just kind of walk through what you can share about the timeline of all that?
Yeah, no, it's been really good so far. The training staff here has been awesome throughout the entire process, and the doctors have been great. Right now, as the spring ball is progressing, I'm just continuing to get mental reps behind and trying to learn as much as I can from guys like Sullivan, who's had some reps here, and other guys that have been around, and also Lester. Now starting to throw in a little bit here and there, and going to continue to progress and hopefully be back June 1st, 100%.
Mark, we know Iowa's offense took a significant step forward last year, but now there's a lot of emphasis on the passing offense and pushing that forward. When you were in the portal or talking to Tim, what gave you confidence that you were maybe one of the missing pieces, or you guys could really take that next step in the passing game?
Yeah, and in the receiving room right now, we have a lot of guys that were young last year and are going to continue to grow and continue to get better, and that was a lot of things. There's a lot of good competition in that room right now. But talking with Lester and kind of seeing the progression of the offense from the year prior to this last year, was really cool to see, and he wants to continue to grow that side of the offense as well. So just added a lot of promise to me, and just made me happy about what's going to be going on and the growth that we're going to have this offseason.
What's your relationship like right now with the other guys in that quarterback room or anybody else?
Really good right now, and it's been pretty cool just to have some connections with some guys, and with I mean, Brendan was at Northwestern before, and he was played under one of my old quarterback coaches as well, and you got Jimmy, who had connections. His older quarterback in high school, I played with him. So just having a lot of those like weird small world relationships has been really, really cool, and I've been building really good rapport with all those guys.
For someone that hasn't seen you play, can you just give a little description of what you feel like, or you can and want to bring to Iowa?
Yeah, you know, I feel like my play style is very, very versatile. I mean, I can stay in the pocket. I can run the ball when I need to. When it's a third down, when you need to get a first down, I'll put my shoulder down when I have to, but slide just to protect the body when I need to as well. I know the coaches really like that. But, you know, just whatever the coaches need at that time, and in the moments that we need, I'll be there for that.
You said you're throwing a little?
Yeah, so I just started throwing a little bit, and then it's going great. Feels great. Just continue to progress on that side of things, and then once it comes June, be 100% and ready to go.
Does it feel like it's ahead of schedule almost?
Yeah, definitely ahead of schedule right now. Body feels ahead of schedule. Just take it every day, day by day right now, and then slowly progressing.
What's your mental rep load like right now? I mean, are you taking snaps and handing off but just not throwing, or are you? How does that work?
You know, I'm kind of standing behind about 20 or 15 yards about, and really going through every single play, and trying to get every single rep that I can, because it's going to be so important when it comes fall, when it comes summer, to really get those reps and be ready to play fast when you get into the moment. But it's been really beneficial overall, and just going through all the footwork, going through all the handoffs, going through all the dropbacks, and even pointing to where I'm going to throw has been really helpful.
You know, I watched some of your press conferences back in South Dakota State, and I think after one of the playoff games, it was really cold. It was like 16 degrees, and you're in not wearing any shirt or anything like that, or for your arms or shoulders. How does that endear you to your teammates? It seemed like they really responded to you.
Yeah, no, they love it. They're always energized by it. Especially, we had a rule with the O-linemen that they're not allowed to wear sleeves at all. So just for them to see me wearing no sleeves as well, kind of got a lot of people juiced up, and it just brings a little bit of extra energy to the team.
How important was location when you're in the transfer portal? Because I know you and your family are really, really close, and it just seemed like maybe there's a little bit of an emphasis on not staying local, but just at least within driving distance from your family.
Yeah, and growing up, just Big Ten football was always the biggest thing, and my dream was always to play Big Ten football, and to be only 3 hours from home is just a really nice benefit to the cause, I guess.
Did you go to Big Ten games growing up, either Illinois, Western, Wisconsin, Iowa, anywhere as a kid?
You know, I kind of just bounced around a lot. I ended up going to a bunch of like the Northwestern games, because we had a guy named Mikey Dudek, if you guys remember him from Illinois. We were good family friends with him, so we went to a lot of those games, and then also into a lot of Notre Dame games, because those are just around the bend. So,
What do you think you can show with another year here?
I feel like I have the opportunity to show a lot. You know, just the way that I can grow in an offense and learn a new offense, because obviously when you go to the next level, you got to learn a whole new offensive scheme. And what's great about this is he kind of brought the Packers offense to here, bringing in an NFL offense in here, and showing that opportunity to learn that. But then also just showing my ability to play at the next level, and it's obviously a step up from FCS, and just being able to play with that type of speed and that type of decision making at this kind of level is going to be important.
You won at a high level at obviously your previous stop. What did you learn about what it takes to win at that really high level?
Yeah, and that's why I'm spending so much time just trying to build relationships and spend time with guys, because building that team culture and having those good, strong relationships with people really when it comes to like hard times in the field, guys are going to be together, going to play together, play for each other, the guy next to you. It's going to be helpful when it comes to that time, and that helps you win games.
I think you camped with Tim Lester. Did you go to their camp, or did you camp here in high school?
No, I never actually camped here. I came here on a junior day visit one time, but I did camp at Western Michigan when he was the head coach there.
What was that like?
It was always good. I always liked what Lester had to say. He was one of my favorite coaches throughout the recruiting process. Obviously, I didn't end up going to Western Michigan, And I ended up being really glad with the decision I ended up making, but I really liked him throughout the process.
Were you close to going to Western though?
It was one of my favorite schools, like throughout the recruiting process. But I mean, I only had one scholarship offer, and that was at South Dakota State. So I just took that and ran with it.
Did Graham and Adam, guys from around this area, tell you anything about just the culture in Iowa City and how much fans love their Hawkeye football?
I've talked to them a lot. I was actually just over at Adam's house the other day, spending some time with him after he's kind of been almost done through the draft process. But I mean, they've told me a lot. They've always came to games as when they were a kid, and how much the fans here love Iowa football. And that's just what I love about the fans as well. Is they're so invested and so bought into this program, which is really cool to see.
With being basically schematically and something quite similar to the Packers, any conversations with Tucker Kraft about that?
I actually did. Once I committed here, he gave me a call and just told me all about Lester and how much he loved him as a coach. And it was really cool talking with Tucker about it. And he's just kind of just like, hey, if you ever need anything, if you ever have any questions with the offense, let me know. It's the same thing. So it's pretty cool.
Do you feel like the spotlight is? Do you notice the spotlight here that you have?
As just playing the quarterback position, you're always going to have a little bit of spotlight on you. You're always going to get the praise when you do good. You're always going to get the fault when you do bad. But that's just kind of the job that comes with being a quarterback, and I embrace that and love it every day.
How much did that injury kind of prevent you from playing at your best last year late, and especially, I'm sure, one of the great rivalry games in the country, and you fell short to a Solon kid. Yeah. How much did that kind of prevent you from playing at your elite level?
I didn't think it really prevented me all that much, and I was able to play through it if I wanted to, and I did end up playing through it those last couple games, and I felt great. I left it all out there on the field with those guys, and I don't think it provoked me from doing anything on the field.
Are you learning a slow mesh with Warren?
What you mean?
Warren, because at Wake Forest they ran a slow mesh.
Oh yeah, I've actually asked him about that. It's just funny that I saw that on Twitter. Somebody was saying like, this is one of the coolest things that they do, and we were talking about it, but we haven't done anything with it.
Yeah. How hard is Lester's offense to grasp? I mean, you don't have a lot of time already. You're not getting real grasp.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun learning. I'm a guy that just loves learning, just either when it comes to football or when it comes about just anything. I mean, ended up finishing with engineering and just learning in that whole process. I loved every second of it. But this offense is very similar to my South Dakota State offense. Just a lot of the concepts. It's just learning almost a new language and just learning those new words and what they mean. But all the reads and everything is very similar, so it's been helpful.
Yeah, like the verbiage for Shanahan offense, it's like football German. It's like 15 words.
Right.
They're all pressed together. I mean, what do you have to okay, this is what we called it there, and this is what it's called here, and try to do that translation?
No, it's not that much of a difference from my last offense as well. So like the last offensive coordinator that I had ended up going to Northwestern.
Zach?
Yeah, Zach Lujan. And his offensive plays were very similar in length and like 10 play words that you're kind of just like, what did I just say again? But it's not too bad of a transition from that.
You give Coach Lester a hard time for not coming through with the scholarship offer at Western?
No, I haven't given him too much of a hard time at all. It's just we've talked about it a little bit, but I'm glad where the process that I had, and it's made me who I am today.
With working on a master's, is that something you can finish by the fall, or?
I'm actually going to finish it this spring. Yeah, so I'm taking classes right now. I'm going to finish with my master's of engineering. Going to be excited to finish that, and then start a new process in the fall.
And then in the fall, will that be like majoring in football? I mean, take
pretty much. Going to take some classes that help set myself up. Just a lot of leadership classes that really kind of just mold you as a better leader, and then playing football.
Yeah.
You guys got to use helmet comms for Okie State, right? Was that
Yes.
the one game?
Yes.
What did you remember about that, and have you got to dive into that now that you're going to get it for a whole season?
Yeah, so every day when I'm taking those mental reps back there, I just have a helmet on just so I can hear those comms, hear it every single day, because we were only able to use it for 1 week. And I thought it was very beneficial. It helped as a quarterback just to kind of know the plays before you're actually given the wristband call and everything like that. But I think it's been beneficial to relearn that process again.
You said June 1st you're kind of free to go. What is that going to look like from June 1st on for you?
Just like any other year, I guess. Just training with the team, doing 7-on-7s with the team, and I don't really know how the process works here, if we have practices or anything like that this summer, but I'm going to kind of learn as I go.
You've been through a long-term injury before. obviously it's a different body part now and everything, but what did you learn from that process that you feel like is helping you now?
Yeah, during that process, it was a very different and long process. But just learning that I had to set goals for myself along the way, and just setting little goals so you can have those like successes throughout the process and not let it feel like monotonous throughout the process. But then also on the field is just continuing to get those mental reps every single time you have the opportunity on the field. And also, at least during that season, I was able to listen to the offensive coordinator, learn about what he likes, learn about his thought process while he's in the game, and help me learn to be a better quarterback and understand what things might be coming in the play call sheet later on in the game when it comes to certain plays, I guess.
What does it take to be a winner at quarterback?
Biggest thing as a quarterback is just being confident. You know, if you're confident in the huddle, you're calm in the huddle for everyone around you. You're able to be that calming influence, but also bring the confidence up around you. And then also just having that quick decision making, and that also comes with confidence. It's just knowing where you want to go with the football before you even the ball leaves your hand, really.
Have there been any relationships you've formed since some close ones or anything?
Yeah, so I've been really getting close with the tight ends, and I think it's just a thing I like. I like the tight ends at SDSU. I was close with those guys, and I met a lot of great people in the tight end room, like Addy, Zach Wortworth, Hayden Large, but also getting close with other guys like Jennings Dunker on the offensive line and Lojo. So, those are all great people, and those are all characters in their own right, and it's been a lot of fun building those relationships with people.
What was your conversations like with Kirk? You know, when you were able to get in the portal, I'm sure you talked to him, I'm sure quite a bit. So how did that kind of go?
It was great, and just kind of learning a lot about him. I always see him as the face of Iowa football, and that's kind of who he is as the head coach. But I didn't really know much about him as a person, so just kind of asking about his life and where he came from, how he built up through the ranks, and it was cool to learn those things about him. But also just asking a lot of questions about just Iowa football and the culture here. And after hearing that, it was like, this is where I want to be. This is the culture that I'm kind of coming from, South Dakota State, and Iowa has had a lot of wins in the past 10 years. I think they're one of the few teams in the country that have eight wins every single season. So coming into a culture like that is really special.
3 more questions.
Are there any NFL quarterbacks you like watching, try to take pieces of their game, stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely. And the other year I did a whole summer study of Matthew Stafford and really just watching his game. And he's one of the most impressive quarterbacks when it comes to moving defenders with their eyes and playing in that style of thing. But I also love Josh Allen's style and how he does it. And then just watching Aaron Rodgers, I know I grew up a Bears fan, and it always sucked playing against him. But just watching him spin it and his arm angles, it's really impressive.
Mark, at just 60, whatever it is, collegiate starts, what have you learned about yourself playing 4 years of college football as a starter?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I've learned that kind of what I was saying earlier is that you got to be that calming influence in the team, but then you also got to know when it is time to bring that energy, bring that joy out of people, and really just go out there and have fun. We're playing a kid's game out here, and when you're having fun, you're confident, and you play fast.
You're going to be playing in the best conference in the country, at least it was last year. Some great teams, Oregon, Penn State. Have you had a chance to even take a peek at those teams yet, or are you just concentrating on the task at hand?
Yeah, I'm really just trying to focus on the task at hand. I got a big offseason ahead of me, just trying to learn the offense, building those relationships with the guys. I've definitely taken a look at the schedule, but haven't taken a look at any of those other teams. So.
All right, thank you.